Garuda has been out for about 8 years. She came out with Fortuna, and her acquisition was beyond horrible. I don't know if people remember her base frame. A lot of people seem to just go for primes nowadays unless they're farming master rank, but you'd have to do the bounties for Solaris United and then get gems and all that other shit. Getting her blueprint wasn't that bad. It was getting the items to craft her blueprint. It was just annoying. It's not nearly as bad as some of the frames out nowadays, but it was still horrible to do. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about why players don't like her, and that's hardly a good reason for her. Now, not farming her base frame, aside from that, people don't like the high risk health management. Now, in this game, there's invulnerability, there's shield gating, there's overguard, there's health tanking, there's so many forms of survivability. She has a couple, but they're not that good. Now, if you want, shield gating is something you can put on everybody. That's usually what people put. But she actively drains her own health with her third ability, Bloodletting. Half health per cast. Luckily, you can't kill her by doing this, but you can get her just right down to death. But each cast gives you 40% energy, so usually most sane people would only cast it once. You use Blood Altar to gain your health back, and then either cast it again when you gain your health back and get yourself up to max energy, or start using your abilities, whatever you want. But nobody would usually just sit there and cast it over and over again. But it doesn't change the fact that you do drain your own health, and depending on the situation, that could just be detrimental. Next is just the highly active gameplay aspect of her. If it was just keeping yourself on the move, keeping yourself highly active, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would be fine with that. But it's the act of having to constantly cycle between your 2 and 3 to gain your energy and health back, and then casting your 1 constantly for either the iframes it provides or to build up the damage, whatever one you're really going for, and then casting your 4 to deal the slash proc, and then once again holding down your 1 to cast it to nuke the room. Now, it seems like a lot, it's not really, but in a high tense situation, it will definitely be annoying to do. With that comes the learning curve of constantly casting your abilities, which players that prefer frames that tend to set and place their stuff, kind of like Noko, will find tedious and hard to get into. And since most people play this game just for kind of chill, relaxed gameplay, not really high speed, bomb this, bomb that, and keep bum rushing, that she just kind of turns away half the community away from her just with that kind of playstyle alone. She's very niche in that regard. Next is just Clunky Defenses. Like I mentioned, she has a couple forms of survivability. Everybody has shield gating built into them. That's part of Warframe, and you can just make it better with mods and playstyles. But she has, with her first ability, Dread Mirror. Dread Mirror allows you to negate damage that comes towards you completely so long as you are facing the enemy. If you're facing the enemy, no matter what they do, they will not do any damage to you unless it's an AoE attack. But if they're just shooting at you, then you are all good. And this builds up your number meter, which allows you to nuke. So it is quite good, but the problem is it is not the best at all, because you can still be hit from the sides, you can still be hit from the back, you can still be shot to death from above or below. And if you're in a crowded room, there's a good chance you'll just straight up die. So her form of survivability, if you want, you could use Dread Ward, her augment for Dread Mirror, which would become unkillable for 8 seconds when you rip an enemy apart with Dread Mirror. Now, invulnerability is always nice, but you have to kill somebody with Dread Mirror. It's not that hard, but most people kind of feel that micromanaging with Dread Ward is more inconsistent and tedious than shield gating, which is actually quite a noble feat. I never thought anything could be more tedious than shield gating. It's probably one of the most complained about things by newer Steel Path players. But if you want to shield gate, the way to do that, just briefly, you can toss on catalyzing shields. This allows you for full shield gate immunity, a lot more duration, 1.33 seconds. And then you need a mod like Brief Respite. Anything that converts energy spent to shields is what you want. And if you wanted to, you could go ahead, put on Arcane Aegis, whatever it's pronounced. for a easier time with shield recharging. And then for her, you can improve this by putting on blending talents. This allows you to do a radial attack around you instead of just ahead of you. So whenever you feel like you're about to die, if you have a blending talent and you're focusing on shield gating, you can just cast seeking talent and you'll do quite nicely, as you can get a nice quick shield gating off of this. It's more consistent since you know exactly when to time it. You don't have to focus on the timing or enemy health. All you have to do is cast it, whether they're almost dead or not. Meanwhile, with Dread Ward, you're going to have to rip them apart while they're almost dead, which means you have to focus on getting them down, whether by shooting them or nuking them or just attacking them until they're dead. But it's just tedious. Incredibly tedious. Now, with that being said, that's just about it. I couldn't find anything else really other than the fact that she has pretty, I wouldn't say high management, but it's pretty moderate. It's up there, but with high activity and a steep learning curve for quite a few players. And the fact that her survivability just isn't like too obvious. Other frames will hit you at that boom 90% damage reduction or cast this and you have invulnerability. She has multiple things you have to do just to do it. You have to either face a certain direction with Dreadmere, which isn't reliable, or focus on Dread Ward's invulnerability, but with that you have to focus on enemy health. Or you can just shield gate. Shield gating, you don't have to focus on enemy health, you just have to focus on your own. A lot less things to focus on. Makes it much simpler. One thing I did notice a lot of players drop her for in normal star chart is she doesn't exactly dominate the entire star chart off rip. You can totally do it. It just requires more than if you wanted to just sit there and shoot them with your guns. So newer players, that player would tend to just use their weapons because it kills them much quicker instead of setting up her nuking by proccing with slash, which is actually very valid. And now, with that being said, that's pretty much just about it. Tell me, what do you think about Garuda? Do you love her? Do you hate her? Do you wish she had something she didn't? I've seen so many people say they wish she had real damage reduction. The only thing I'm going to say to that is if every Warframe had damage reduction, 90% flat, it would just be repetitive all around. It's pretty nice that she has something unique in this case. But with that being said, that's just about it. Until next time.